Hey there, YouTube, what's going on, man? So check it out. I'm back in the driver's seat again. That means wintertime's over. That means spring's here. And that also means that I'm about to be working about 90 hours a week. Anyway, I just want to do a real quick, let's call this a lesson with you guys. Over history, throughout history, in the United States, since the TV, basically, since the TV has made a player, has become a major player in the American family, the powers that be have been using the TV to propagate you with lies and to play off your emotional instincts. So, in the Vietnam War, before the Vietnam War, there was a staged attack on some American ships in the Gulf of Tonkin, right? And you can go look this up right now. It's declassified. I can't say what it's called on this platform because this video will be immediately banned. But the two words that this act is called start with an F and an F. And the first word is false, okay? And the second word is the first letter I said, and then LAG. So, you'll be able to figure that out. Many governments over time have used these to sway the hearts and minds of its own citizens and into agreeing with them into going to other countries, foreign countries, and destroying its infrastructure, its economy, bringing down its government, and killing its civilians. It was used in World War I. It was used in World War II. It was used in the Vietnam War. They wanted to use it under President Kennedy. It was called Project Northwoods. Go look it up. They did use it for the Iraq War, Desert Storm, and they also used it for Operation Iraqi Freedom, or whatever the hell it was called just recently. Well, not recently, under George W. So, they used all of these FFs in order to sway the hearts and minds of the people, in order to get them to agree, to get them to be in agreement with the government, killing thousands and if not millions of people. I am 100% anti-war. 100% anti-war. I believe that we should try any means other than war to solve our issues. But here's the problem. 99% of the time, there are no issues. Usually these issues that they say are there are never even existing. They're non-existence. They go to war usually to propagate or try to further an agenda that they have. They, meaning the people behind the scenes that we don't really see or hear from. Some people in power are the spokespersons of these people that are behind the scenes. For instance, when we went to go get Saddam Hussein, we were told that there were W, like in Warner Brothers, M, like mother, and D, like destruction. Right? So they said they were there, when in fact they were not there at all. So they told us that they had these weapons right after we were attacked by 2 airplanes that hit 2 buildings in New York City. So after the airplanes hit the buildings in New York City, they said it was Osama bin Laden, and we were on the hunt for Osama bin Laden. And right at the same time, they leaked this false information saying that Saddam Hussein has these weapons, and that also there were, and don't get, I could be confused on this one, but they also said there were babies being destroyed. The babies in the incubators were being thrown on the ground. Well, here's the problem. The girl who said that the babies were in the incubators being thrown on the ground by the Iraqi soldiers, the girl who said this was the Saudi prince's daughter or niece or something like that, in which Saudi Arabia had an interest in Iraq for its oil. So that's with that one. And then the WMDs, I shouldn't have said that in here, were never there. I do believe the first one was the babies, was like the first war, and then the W things were in the second war. I do know that for sure. Anyway, the W's were never the WDs, you know, they were never there. And they told us that Saddam Hussein was this tyrant and blah blah, evil, killing people, right? Well, the truth is, there's always been a war between the Sunnis and Shiites, right? And stop whining. There's always been a war between the Sunnis and Shiites. Saddam, guess what he was getting ready to do right before we went to war? He pulled his currency from the OPEC system, from the petrodollar system. So the United States dollar is the world's reserve. Saddam Hussein, in order, okay, the dollar, the reserve, the world currency, the world reserve currency, every country has to transfer their money into dollars before they can do international business, 1. Or 2, they have to trade their money into US dollars in order to buy oil from OPEC. Saddam Hussein took his money off of the OPEC system, off of the world currency system, and made it gold-backed currency. And then he died. Okay? Gaddafi, he did the same thing. Guess who else did it? Assad. Or he was going to. And maybe he didn't do it. I think he backed off when he realized that his 2 homies that just to the south of him got slain for doing the same thing that he was just getting ready to do. So they create these scenarios so they can preserve their world dominance over currency. That's part of the reason. And the United States has been there as the world currency for so long. The U.S. dollar has been there for the U.S. being the U.S. currency for so long. Well, now the new world system, let's call it that, instead of if we use the word order in that secession, I think that this video will get banned. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about, the new world system. It's no longer it's trying to get off of the US dollar, and they're trying to bring the US down to a third world country status. And now they're trying to use China as the number 1 superpower. And China was going along with it. Until just recently, China said, we're not going to put any more gay people on TV. We're not going to show feminized women, and we're not going to have any trannies trans people on TV. and we're not going to only have a one-child policy. So basically, China gave a big old middle finger to the NWS, the New World System. And, yeah. So that's what's going on there. So I think the New World System's kind of freaking out, or they're going to try and use the United States again. I'm not sure exactly. But anyways, here's the point of this video. Stop believing everything on the mainstream media, because none of it is true. Not none of it. There is some truths to a lot of it. But inherently, the stories they tell you are false. Implicitly. They're false. Okay? They're just not. At all. There's nothing to them. Mostly it's propaganda. Usually there's an alternative agenda behind the stories they're telling you. Just like January, you know, that day that everybody went to DC back in the day. They're trying to use that to be able to label people in this country as bad. Let's just say bad, because this video will get banned. Anyway, you guys, this is just a short lesson on how they, or what they do. And usually, just real quick, usually they will use stories that attack an emotional response in the body, in the human body. So when you talk about babies, when you talk about children, when you talk about, you know, hunger, famine, disease, stuff like this, it tugs at your heartstrings, and you become emotionally enthralled in these movements without being logically thinking. So immediately, with this stuff that's going on right now, all the prop that's going on right now with the Ukraine and all that, immediately people are going right to, oh, we need to support Ukraine, we need to support Ukraine, we need to support Ukraine. Dude, do you not understand? For the past 20 years, Ukraine has been the breeding ground of the New World System. And Putin, as far as I can tell, he's been anti-New World System for a long time. I'm not saying he's good. I'm not a Russophile or a Ruski or whatever you want to call him. I don't believe that they're good, but I just believe he's not bad. You know what I mean? Like Trump. I don't think he's good. I just don't think he's bad. I think he's inherently fighting for the Constitution, as well as Putin, fighting for his people. And a lot of these things that we've adopted are anti-human and anti-success. Anyway, you guys, don't let the propaganda fool you. Be smart, be wise, do your research, and not just fundamental, just quick research. Do some deep digging. Do some history research. And don't use Google. God bless you. God bless America. Stay happy, and most importantly, stay free.